Tonight, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Time to see the offense for Green Bay go to work. Aaron Rodgers leading them. What a career it's been. Came into the league back in 2005 as the number 24 pick out of Cal.
And he's had good success here already this season throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in his 2 games. He's really got this offense playing with a lot of confidence, trying to establish themselves early as a Super Bowl contender.
Rodgers now on first down. And incomplete to open things up. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a tendency breaker. And now
look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers. He'll let it go deep for Freeman. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Rodgers. Flushed out. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And the defense has got it. Oh, a nightmare start offensively. This will be a touchdown. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
On 2nd down, it's Green. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, this defense for the Ravens, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
Looking deep for Adams, and unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. Brown with his stick skills, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And that's going to be Incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On the option right is Jackson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Jackson on the give to Dalvin. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. From the gun, Jackson. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And the Ravens defense, they get ready, and they trot back out onto the field. And let's take a peek at some of the defensive effort here that's helped them get this first half lead.
Yeah, I remember in school, we used to have a term for it. Break on it. When you see the ball in the air, when you see a receiver make the cut, and you anticipate it. Break on the football. Get there. Make a play. And we've seen a lot of that so far in this game.
Coverage has been excellent.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Rodgers going to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Slant to Adams. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bull his way in there for the 2 points. Well, they got down 7-zip. They said, we'll go for 2, one up you, and they take the lead.
How about that for a little risk-reward, right? If you don't get it, you're only down a point. Let's go ahead and make a statement in this ball game, and that's exactly what they did.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? Be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
An option handoff here to Dobbins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Second and 11 now. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop.
4th and short in this part of the field. You just notice special teams coordinators rallying the team saying, watch the fake, but Brandon, don't they usually say that on every punting situation?
Oh, yeah, they can be up 40 in the 4th quarter. That's their job. They scream that every time.
And this time, though, his team locked in, and they were well aware that it truly was a situation that they could fake it, and they were ready for it and stopped it.
2 minutes even in what's been a tight first half. 8-7, our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. From just shy of midfield, Rodgers. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers eluding the pressure right. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Now Rodgers. He'll find Aguara complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
On 2nd down now, it's Green. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. That catch, a pretty big one, Charles. Now 1,200 career catches.
The numbers that pile up, sometimes we get numb, sometimes we get amused.
Touchdown! That's caught. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd down and 8. Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where you see the final score there. David Moore, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were victorious in that one over the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. Dak Prescott, a touchdown pass in the victory. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, see what's happening with the Bengals. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Michael Thomas, close to 200 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. And our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys lead it at the break as we send you back up to Baltimore and Brandon Godden. Brandon.
The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Fielded right around the 8. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Up on a 2nd and 6. Jackson going to run. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. 40
35 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Jackson. He finds Bateman over the middle. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play there out of the running game. So this play, until recently, only something you probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
Jackson now. Flush to his, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Ravens have retaken the lead. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opening the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup there. On 2nd down, it's Green. Room to run past midfield. And down to the 20. It's a big play there for Green Bay. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. They'll try and run it in. The fullback Kuhn hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. In this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Give them a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the result, instead of the chip shot to tie, they turn the ball over on downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Dean Lowry, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
Oh, boy, he got a favorable spot there. The guys on the sidelines were raising their hands over their head and clasping their hands to signal safety. But the official marked it just outside the end zone at the 1-yard line.
And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football.
So the challenge does not sway the official's decision. Spot of the football going to remain right where it is. It's fielded at the 45. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Escaping the... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Justin Houston in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Well, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you're probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
And there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. To throw is Rodgers. It's complete to Brown, right side. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Rodgers got to have this one. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the 1st. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle 3rd of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
On 1st down, Rodgers. He'll find his tight end here, DeGuara, and he'll be stopped right at midfield.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe popped it in for the sack.
So we'll recount real quick. He had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Another try after the 1st down sack. Rodgers, and that is incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Rodgers. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. That would have been a 1st down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call.
I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch.
Let's go, baby.
After reviewing the play, the field stands.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw, as this play will stand as is. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll go option to the short side. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Jackson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So now Rodgers in the pack, down 17-14, exactly 1 minute remaining. Their perfect start to the season in jeopardy unless they can score here as they've got it 1st and 10. Rodgers to throw. And that's complete to Brown. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. Back to throw, Rodgers. A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit something. That means it's just one match chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. But he will not get away. He stopped short of the marker. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. So would that mean 3 weeks in the books and they creep above 500 now at 2-1?
You know, I played with a guy once after taking a knee at the end of the game, and he came in and grabbed the equipment manager and said, make sure you wash that spot, special, because I just took a knee for a win. That tells you how much guys enjoy that, because getting a win, no one takes it for granted.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Baltimore, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come.
Today, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Green Bay Packers taking on the Atlanta Falcons.
We are at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On play action, Vick. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Vick. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
The throw on 2nd down from Vick, incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. Here's Vick. And he comes back with one complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll try the left side with Dillon. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he will find his man on the outside.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does, and in practice it wasn't about a lot of big shots. Series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are, and you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
He'll check this down, complete to Dillon. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number 1 along with the rest of this Packer offense.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 27. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The numbers for Green a week ago, 12 carries, 98 yards, and a score.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
On 2nd down now, it's Green. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Flushed out right. Got his man. It's Eifert. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
Of course we think of Aaron Rodgers as a pocket passer, but you and I both know this guy's a pure athlete. He can get outside and make plays with his legs as well.
I showed it right there, outside of the pocket and on the money.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Now they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
Looking to run it in, Kuhn. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. They run again with Kuhn. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. They go to the big man. Second time he gets it done.
Almost as if they were feeling like he was establishing a rhythm. Give it to him again and again, and how about the end result? Finishes it off in the end zone.
Touchdown, great run, and the score. So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he will bowl his way in there for the 2 points. Nothing fancy there on that 2-point try. Give it to the big boy, let him go to work.
That almost felt like Sandlot football that we used to play, didn't it? Biggest guy on your team who can carry the ball, hand it to him and let him rumble.
Nobody picked me on the Sandlot football team.
You were quarterback, and I know better.
I was the water boy.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Vick. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On 3rd down, Vick.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked off near the 34. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. What a play. The big man comes up with the interception. Puts together, Charles, a nice little return, too.
Yeah, he's not going to make anybody forget Darrell Green or Rod Woodson, but look at him lug that thing. He decided it was his. A lot of people might have thought about lateraling it there. No shot. Trying to take it the distance.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And a nice run to get this up over the 20-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw, Vick. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
3rd and short yardage, Vick.
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted.
Picked off at the 28. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it and go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away. They stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
From the 10. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Now swing pass for Dillon.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's a 2nd down. He'll check it down, complete to Dillon. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll throw again. Here's Vick. And a quick throw here that's complete.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches.
Vic now from the 50. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now here's Vic. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29.
Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Rodgers. Flush to his right. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Escaping the pressure right. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone. A lot to get to here this final day of September. So let's get started. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. From the former home of the Colts to their current home, we head west to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And you can see they lead the visiting Houston Texans at halftime. Marlon Mack, a touchdown run in that first half. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. Devin Singletary, well over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run as well. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. So here are the Packers now to take over. They were losers a week ago to Baltimore, but they lead things here as they start 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. Short pass, Eifert on the receiving end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish it.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Falcons grab it, and they're going to set up sharp at the 40-yard line.
So potentially a turning point here in the third quarter as that swings the door back open just a bit.
Yeah, they're still down 2 scores, but I do think we're at that point in the game where you're going to reach for the football whenever possible. You're going to hear the coaches scream from the sidelines, tackle him, second guy in, tackle the ball.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Now this throw caught left side. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
With that impact, I fully expected the ball to pop free. I still remember an old defensive back friend of mine. He used to say, guess what? Even if they catch the ball, make sure they have a memento to take back to the sideline.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. On second down, Dillon. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On the handoff, Dillon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Dillon will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so, and one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
That second down play nets a -4.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Vick, 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
The Packers ready to take over offensively.
And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. Second down. It's Green, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead 3rd quarter.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
51 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
They'll run on first down. Green.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
try and run for it on first and goal. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Play. Time has expired on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great play there with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Packers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the 2-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Atlanta regains possession of the football. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Vick will look to throw on first down.
He'll dump this down to Dillon. That's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
That throw by Vick, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to
Packer pressure, and down he goes. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Vick. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
You definitely would like to hit on that one because now you got third and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Flushed out right. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a first down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. first down. Green. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Green. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. To throw, it's Rodgers. Got him in. Open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
A first down throw coming for Vick. Quick hitter here, it's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 44, Vick. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. From the gun, Vick. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 45. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
Man, to put it mildly, look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Rolling to his right. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying.
So the decision to challenge does not pan out, and that's also going to cost him a timeout. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And quickly they get to the line. They'll keep it on the ground. Green. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game, the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line. Yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
First down marker at the 5. It's 2nd and goal.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Packers add on to their lead. So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. They'll give it to the fullback up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurting this month. No, okay.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Vic readies to throw.
They'll get this into the hands of Dillon, complete.
And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Vic now.
And that'll be complete to Dillon.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. One last shot for Michael Vick. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of. But now it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Packers, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll have another home date next week as the Detroit Lions come to town. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll sink now to 0-4.